remedial measures, the council management will continue to sensitize the community on the above mentioned remedial measures so that the council can continue to provide the required municipal services. We go to the commercial venture and cause for the query. Management wishes to report that under collection of commercial venture of levies from commercial venture amounting to 201,546.00 was due to the motel being under renovation. The action taken. Management wishes to report that the council has completed renovating the council motel rooms and kitchen, which is envisaged to improve the council's revenue base and collection efficiency. Further, the renovation of the conference facility was budgeted for in the 2022 budget. You can also look at the pictorial view of where the lodge is now, the council lodge. And the remedial measure, the council will continue to source for more income generating ventures such as stone quarry business, mining, and truck parking bay in order to increase the revenue base of the council. Then other incomes, cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that under collection on other incomes amounting to 162,250 was due to low contribution from stakeholders, e.g. mining firms and farmers within the district. The action taken. Management wishes to report that the council will continue lobbying for funds from investors in form of corporate social responsibility. Remedial measure. The council will continue to increase engagement and sensitization of stakeholders in order to increase contribution in corporate and social responsibility for the council to continue giving municipal services. And then we'll go to local government equalization fund and cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that under receipt of local government equalization fund of 376,046.39 was as a result of the deductions at source for statutory obligations and insurance. The action taken or remedial measure. Council management will continue to engage the Ministry of Local Government on the issue of an inadequacy of the funding. Then we go to operation matters. That is under collection of dog levy. We'll go to management response and cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that under collection of dog levy amounting to 8,200 was due to low compliance by dog owners. The action taken, the council will continue to engage and sensitize the community on the need to register and vaccinate their dogs in order to prevent the spread of rabies within the municipality. The other component is failure to control and manage markets. Management response, cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that failure to control and manage the 7 markets is because the markets are situated, some of the markets are situated in far-flung areas. That is in Kabansa, in Chansa, and Chibale, to mention just a few. The action taken. Management is in the process of engaging, which has already been done, Chair, ward development committees to help the council to control and manage the markets in far-flung areas. Further, the revised CDF guidelines to local authorities has emphasized prioritizing water, sanitation, and other market facilities, which we will endeavor to take advantage of, and that can be seen in Appendix 6. Remedial measure. Council management will continue to engage the ward development committees to help the council manage and control the markets in places where we cannot go. And then failure to provide refuse bays and bins at markets. Management response, cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that failure to provide refuse space is as a result of financial constraints, even though these were budgeted for in the 2021 budget under locally generated revenue, which was not collected in full. The action taken arising from the new or the revised CDF guidelines that are prioritizing garbage management, the Council has engaged and sensitized WDCs to apply for skip trucks and bins from the 2023 CDF. You can look at that in Appendix 7. And then remedial measure, the Council will continue to adhere to the Market and Bus Station Act, as well as government directives. We go to the accounting for revenue and failure to collect revenue. There is a table that is showing that. And then management response on rentals, personal levy, plot premiums, and property rates. Cause for the query. The Council wishes to report that failure to collect revenue from the above mentioned items amounting to 343,480.00 attributed this to economic meltdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The action taken. Council management wishes to report that the Council has since collected 20,330 from rentals and 25,000 from plot premiums. And further, the Council has written to the Ministry of Finance for the payment of personal levy for all the civil servants in Serenje District. And this amount is 84,015. And further, management has received a payment plan from Malcolm Moffat College of Education for property rates. You can look at that in Appendix 8. Remedial measures. Management is committed to ensuring that all funds due to the Council are efficiently collected and embarked on repossession and locking of shops and stores for occupants who have not paid. Then we go to management of payroll and other staff-related matters. The first one is failure to fill vacant positions, management response, and cause for the query. Management wishes to report that failure to fill vacant positions was due to the fact that the mandate to recruit and fill vacant positions lies with the Local Government Service Commission. The Council only receives staff recruited and deployed to it by the Local Government Service Commission. The action taken. Council management wishes to report that the Council has continued to engage the Local Government Service Commission through submission of quarterly staff returns for the Commission to recruit and deploy the beverage manager and the systems analysis for the smooth running of the Council. The local authority has embarked on the following also to boost the local revenue, hence to budget for the vacant positions, undertake a supplementary evaluation role to capture mines, industries, and other rateable properties, entering into public-private partnership agreements to undertake a stone quarry business in the district. The third one is to enter into public-private partnership agreement to undertake mining activities in the district. This can be looked at in Appendix 9. Remedial measure. The Council management will continue to engage the Local Government Service Commission to fill the vacant positions with matching resources. Then we go to another one, which is overemployment of staff and management response and cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that overemployment of staff was due to the fact that the mandate to recruit and deploy Council staff lies with the Local Government Service Commission. The Council only receives staff recruited and deployed to it by the Local Government Service Commission. Further, the Commission requested information on excess staff, which we submitted and await a response from them. The action taken. Management has continued to engage the Local Government Service Commission by submitting staff returns and has also requested that excess staff be transferred. This can be looked at in Appendix 10. Remedial measures. The Council management will continue its human resource will continue its human resource and update staff returns, which will be submitted periodically to the Local Government Service Commission for their action. Then we also look at employees with without requisite qualifications. Management response, cause for the query. The Council Management wishes to report that the mandate to recruit and deploy qualified Council staff lies with the Local Government Service Commission. The Council only receives staff recruited and deployed by the Commission. The action taken. Management has since written to the affected officers to upgrade their qualifications, and correspondences are available for audit verification, and that's in Appendix 11. And then failure to confirm staff. Management response and cause for the query. Management wishes to report that the mandate to confirm council staff lay with the Local Government Service Commission at the time of the audit. The action taken, management wrote to the Local Government Service Commission for confirmation of officers, and as at 17th February 2023, the Council received 13 confirmation letters. Correspondences are available for audit verification in Appendix 12. Remedial measures. Management will continue to engage the Local Government Service Commission on remaining unconfirmed officers to be confirmed. And then we go to management of assets. For failure to avail title deeds, management response and cause for the query. The Council Management acknowledges the auditor's observation, and the process to acquire the title deeds is underway. Action taken. Council Management wishes to report that the survey diagrams for some properties, about 6 of them, have been prepared. Further, the lease agreement documents have been signed and submitted to the Ministry of Lands for processing title deeds. Further, the Council is following up on the remaining 11, some of which are in traditional land and was under litigation and under replanning by the Provincial Planning Unit. That can be looked at in Appendix 13. Remedial measure, management will continue engaging Ministry of Lands and other stakeholders for issuance of council title deeds. And then failure to maintain markets and toilets. Management response, we're looking at the Bolelo market and cause for the query. Council Management wishes to report that part of the market had collapsed and the market had no running water due to financial constraints to innovate the market under locally generated revenue. The action taken. Management wishes to report that a borehole has been installed and renovation of the market has been done using savings from the market daily revenue, daily market collections. There's pictorial view there of Ibolelo market and also Ibolelo toilet. And then remedial measure, management will continue carrying out maintenance works on all the markets and toilets within the district. And further, the council will construct modern markets and toilets within the district using constituency development fund as per the revised CDF guidelines. On the new market, cause for the query, Council Management wishes to report that some fittings to the toilets were broken and no running water due to financial constraints to carry out maintenance works under locally generated revenue. The action taken, some funds amounting to 17,700 have been reserved through daily market fee collections to renovate the toilet and install the water tank at the new market. The installation of the water is at procurement stage, and this has already been procured. You can look at that in Appendix 14. Remedial measure, management to continue carrying out maintenance works on all the markets and toilets within the district. And further, the council will construct modern markets and toilets within the district using the Constituency Development Fund as per the revised CDF guidelines. Management response on the main market and cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that some fittings to the toilets were broken and there was no running water due to financial constraints to carry out maintenance works under locally generated revenue. The action taken. Management wishes to report that the council has plans to construct new toilets at the market, and the WDCs for the ward have since been engaged to apply for the new facilities in accordance with the revised CDF guidelines. That can be looked at in appendix. This is supposed to be 15. Appendix 15. Remedial measure. Management will continue plowing back the daily market fees for maintenance works on all the markets and toilets within the district. Further, the construction of modern markets and toilets within the district to be carried out using Constituency Development Fund in accordance with the revised CDF guidelines. Then we go to management of Constituency Development Fund. That's completion of Nakalengule health post and construction of 2 double VIP latrines. Management a response. Cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that the project was delayed due to community misunderstandings with the contractor, where the community felt that the contractor was underpaying them for the jobs executed on the project. In the process, the contractor wrote to have the contract terminated, citing personal problems, including financial challenges. Action taken. The council re-advertised the project and awarded the contract to Duncan Investment Limited for a period of 12 weeks. The contractor has applied for extension of the period as at 17th February 2020. I think it must be 2023. The works done include interior and exterior plastering, glazing, spoon drain, fitting of door, and remaining works to be done includes painting inside and outside. And further, the contractor applied for extension of time, which was approved. This can be looked at in Appendix 16. That's the pictorial view of the Nakalengule health post. Remedial measure. Management through the Director of Works will closely supervise the contractor for the remaining works to be completed by 26th of March 2023. Then we go to management of liabilities and failure to remit statutory obligations. Cause for the query. Management wishes to report that failure by the council to pay statutory obligations amounting to 23,457,633.34 was due to financial constraints. The action taken. Management has been making efforts to liquidate some of the debt, which while central government has come to the council's aid by liquidating other debts as in the table below. So we have what the council has done and what central government has also been able to do. That's in also in Appendix 17. Remedial measure. Management has put a system in place to ensure that all returns for statutory bodies are submitted and filed before due date to avoid accumulation of penalties. And further, council has embarked on the following to boost local revenue to settle outstanding obligations. The first one is undertaking a supplementary valuation role to capture smelting plants for manganese and other rateable properties, and also entering into public-private partnership agreements to undertake a stone quarrying business in the district, and also enter into public-private partnership agreements to undertake mining activities in the district. Then go to failure to settle staff obligations. Cause for the query. Council management wishes to report that failure by the council to pay staff obligations amounting to 6,079,072.65 was due to financial constraints. The action taken. The council has made the following payments towards the liquidation of staff debts, and that is in the table below. You can also look at Appendix 18. remedial measure. Council management has put in a system to ensure that all outstanding staff obligations are liquidated. Further, the council has embarked on the following measures to boost local revenue to settle outstanding debts. That's undertaking the supplementary roll, as earlier stated, and also going into public private partnership agreements, so that in terms of the stone quarrying and also undertaking mining activities in the district. Chair, I submit.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary. Honorable members, points of clarification. Honorable Sumumba, Honorable Kolala.
Thank you very much, Chair. And I'll take you to page 2.
Page 2?
Yes. Locally generated funds and permits, commercial venture, license, and levies. Chair, and levies, they budgeted for 1,109,610. They only managed to collect 579,575. And the reason, Chair, when you look at the reason, they're saying it was due to inadequate transport. That is under levy. Also, under license, Chair, the reason they are giving is they had inadequate transport. Again, Chair, you go to permits, the same reason, inadequate transport, has been mentioned. When you go to commercial venture, they're saying the reason they didn't correct because the motel was under renovation. So my questions are, one, what propelled you to prepare such an ambitious budget that you could not meet? Secondly, why did you budget for commercial venture when you knew that the very motel was under renovation? The third one, Chair, is when you are budgeting, was the issue of transport and inadequate transport, was it there, or it just came after you have budgeted for this year under review? I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kolala, you have a question on the same?
Thank you, Chair. Like the honorable members mentioned, I was looking at the local taxes, and the cause of the query, there were three which were mentioned, categorized like the College of Education inability to pay what they owe, which is closely, when we round it off, is 200,000, which is 199,996.15. Now, I looked at it, I followed this, I thought, and there is an appendix, Chair, here, where they wrote to the institution, and the institution responded, where they made it clear to say the college, the institution being a grant-aided one, has had engagement with the office, of the council several occasions on the amount it is charging for underrates with respect to it being too high in comparison to other government-funded institutions. Further, they even said the college looks forward to a complete review of the charges. And they even now gave an option of paying a 10,000 every after 3 months. Now we are looking at the money involved, and they'll be paying every after 3 months. And I'm sure this was agreeable. And there are issues of review. But it has not come out from the council, whether on action taken or on remedial. It has not come out here. Is the council telling us to say, as far as the council is concerned, is status quo, even when this institution has cried, looking at how much money they owe you and how much you depend on that institution? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Kapampi, on the same.
Yes, it's on the same on budget and income, Chair. For every council, I believe, to perform is through collection of revenues. I'd like to find out from this council what strategies have they put in place to make sure that they improve with the revenue collections. Because looking from these collections under review, the council didn't perform very good. This is probably slightly above 50%. I would also love to find out at what percentage did they perform 2022, just to compare. I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. Council Secretary, you can ask your team to help you here and there. Please respond to those.
Thank you, Chair. When we were budgeting, was the issue of transport there? Chair, the issue of transport, Serenge has been was a thorny one before we procured the recent vehicle that we procured. And one of the reasons that led to that dire situation was that November riot. Okay. Yes, I was talking about the issue of transport. There was a time that Serenge experienced a riot where most of the vehicles and other properties were damaged, and some of them they were burnt. And so I think at the time of at the time of budgeting, maybe that could not have been anticipated. And of course, there was another vehicle I remember that was also involved in an accident, and so the issue of transport was not the issue of problem with transport was not anticipated, I think, at the time of budgeting. And then when you go to local taxes, Malcolm Moffat's inability
Chair, I think on the same. The reason why this question has come is because in your responses is inadequate transport. That was the challenge for you not to collect. Now, at the time of budgeting, Chair, did they consider this factor of not having transport? That's the question, because in all the responses, the reason of not having transport is a reason to them for not collecting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
Actually, the question, Council Secretary, is that you have these huge figures and you attribute for failure to correct to challenges of transport. Now the question was, why did you budget those? Because you knew you didn't have transport, and you knew that you were supposed to collect money from all those areas. So why did you have to have that ambitious budget when you knew you had no transport? Treasurer, you can help the Council Secretary.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. When we are budgeting for 2021, we actually took into consideration of the vehicles. At that time, we had the 3 running vehicles, which one was attached to Finance Department and the Works Department. So during the year of 2021, we had the breakdown of one of the vehicle, which when we took it for servicing, it costed the 200,000. And looking at the financial position of the council during that period, we are unable to settle that amount. So that vehicle, it actually affected us during that year in 2021. I submit, Chair.
You see, I want to advise that you are under Cap 12, and that where you don't have answers, provide, say so you don't have the answers. I heard the CS and yourself actually talking about the vehicles that were bent, and that could be the reason as to why you are crippled in terms of transport. I know that I was sitting in this committee under 2020 Auditor General's report, and those vehicles came up, those vehicles that were burnt by the people and things like that. So it could not be the reason for 2020 and 2021. It couldn't be the same reason. Because if we had that problem in 2020, then 2021 you had other alternatives. Honorable Nyambose.
Chair, although they have not responded to questions, Honorable Kola's question and the Honorable Kapampi's question.
There are a lot of questions actually.
And Honorable Sumumba's questions have not satisfactorily answered the questions. And Chair, I'm not taking your seat, but may I allow them to respond before I come in? Please, you are taking note, respond to these questions before we make follow-up questions. Thank you, Chair.
Maybe you can exhaust the questions asked.
I'll request the Treasurer to just give us the percentage of our performance in 2021. You have that on the fingertips.
Okay. Our budget performance for the year, I think it was for 2022. I think it was for 2022. It was at the 86% share as at the 31st December 2022. That was our budget performance for 2022.
You had the vehicle then? The revenue vehicle?
We procured the vehicle in 2022 November. That's when we procured the vehicle.
Okay. So how did you manage to perform without the vehicle?
Actually, we had the challenge of the vehicle, of course, but we were lobbying from the vehicle of the council chairperson just to assist us to reach those far areas for revenue collection, which was inconvenience to the council chairperson.
As a treasurer and team, of course, a council secretary, you are not accused, you are not in a dock. So you just give us the challenges so that we generate a report. So where we feel things could not work because of ABCD, because you have attributed a lot of the failures, especially in revenue collection on transport. So if you had those challenges, it's as plain as it is. You know, all this, that's why we have been repeating the transport challenges. We had a problem here. And yes, we failed to perform. All right, next question. There are still them responding to the questions. I think they haven't exhausted.
Yes, and then the other one is the strategies to improve the revenue collection. Like we have already said, Chair, we have plans to, we've actually, in terms of getting involved in mining, we have obtained a consent from the CCM, where they've given us a portion where we can, an area where we can mine from. When we talk about going into public-private partnerships, we are going to need machinery, and which we do not have currently as a council, and that's where we are thinking that maybe we can go into public-private partnership in terms of beginning to mine, which is manganese. The other strategies is also to go into stone quarrying. There is an area that we have which has stone which can be used for quarrying, and again we do not have the machinery that is required for us to do that, like a crusher, and we are thinking we can go into, we have had some engagements, we can go into the public-private partnership again. And I think the other things that we have also done is we have plans for this year, and we've already started on something where we want to ensure that we put, we update the evaluation role that we have, and in this case, the plans are to capture the mines, to capture the smelting plants, that process manganese. And the other things that we have done also is that we have also established checkpoints in areas where in the past we did not have checkpoints, about 3 or 4, as well as engage the WDCs to ensure that they collect levies and fees for us in areas where we are not able to easily go as an institution or as a council. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Nyambose.
Yeah, because he comes in, there was also the issue of the commercial venture where they budgeted for, while they knew that it was under renovation. I submit, Chair.
CS.
Through the Chair, maybe I can request the Treasurer to come in there.
Okay. Thank you, the Chairperson. The commercial venture, the renovation of the commercial venture started in 2021, and we expected it to be completed we expected it to be to complete the renovation of the commercial venture by December 2021. So when we were budgeting, I think we looked at the bar, because the bar was still in the operations. We also looked at we also considered the restaurant, which was also in operation. So our budgeting, of course, we took into consideration the renovation of the commercial venture. So our budgeting.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. So we actually took into the consideration of the commercial of the renovation of the commercial venture when we were budgeting for the profit which we'll be able to generate from the commercial venture.
Yes,
I am permitted. Treasurer and the Council Secretary. I have a feeling that you are ready for this committee. Why am I asking this question? The simple question from the commercial ventures. You budgeted to collect 253,817. You only collected 680, 815. and you had a negative variance of 466. The question is simple question. You knew that the commercial venture was undergoing renovations. Why did you come up with such ambitious figures to put when you knew for sure this was under renovation? That is the first question. And the other question, Chair, I wanted to ask. I wanted first to find out from the council. You have attributed to your failure of 5,268,062 kwacha 95 ngwe. Failure to perform. This is negative variance of the local taxes. My question, Chair, they have attributed this failure to vehicle, having no vehicle. And now that you have procured a vehicle, my first question, is this vehicle that you have procured solely for the purpose of revenue, or it is administrative vehicle? That is my first question. Take note. You have underperformed on rates, Chair. Local rates. Let me just go to the page. You budgeted to collect property rates 209,635 kwacha, and you collected new. Do you attribute this to the problem of the vehicle that you have alluded to earlier? And who are the people who are helping you to collect this? Within Serenge Township, do you need a vehicle to collect rates where you collect new? The other question is Honorable Kolala's question. During the process of valuation, coming up with the valuation law, properties are evaluated by surveyors. After that, property owners are given an opportunity to object on the value of their property, to make objections if they feel it is too high or too low. The question is, did they have this opportunity to make objections? And during the awarding or the final awarding of the approval of the valuation law, property owners are given an opportunity to object on the rate poundage. Did these people object to the rate poundage? I'm specifically chairperson dealing with the Malcolm Moffat, and the other person, the other property owner by the name of Bush, is it? Chairperson, I've noted. Let me just go to the page. The ones the council secretary is on appendix. Chair is appendix 11. It's appendix 11. No. It's appendix 1. Council Secretary, you can help me. The two people, the two organizations. It is to Mbushi. Is it Mbushi? It's appendix page 3. Yeah, the first one is commitment to pay land rates is from Malcolm Moffat. They owed the council 312,660 kwacha 25 ingwe. And they have made a proposal. You have written to them demanding for the entire amount of 300,000. They are only willing to pay 10,000 kwacha after 3 months. Translating to say they are only ready to pay 3,000 kwacha plus per month. Do you think you can recover this money, 300,000, if the Malcolm Moffat is able to only to pay 3,000 kwacha per month? And did the Malcolm Moffat make an objection during the process of valuation law? And did you listen to them? The other one is, the last one is it Mbushi? Which one? Henry something. Henry Mbushi. They owe the council. Simumba can help me. The total amount they owe 25,000, and they are only willing to pay 2,000 kwacha per month. At this rate, they are writing in 2023. This is when they are coming up with a payment plan. Do you think that what they accrued in 2021, added to 2022, and you add what they were accrued to 2023, and the payment plan of 2,000 kwacha, you are able to collect this money and use it for service delivery and everything? Last one, Chair. If you were to pay yourselves salaries as Serenje Council without government support, this local taxes collection, are you able to sustain salaries and services the way you performed? That's my last question. Thank you.
Please respond to those questions. Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the last one. Certainly, if with this kind of performance, I don't think we'll be able to pay ourselves salaries if we did not get government support. And then I also move to the other question, Chair, which is talking about Malcolm Moffat. We just learned very recently that Malcolm Moffat was not aware of the evaluation, the evaluation role process, where they are given an opportunity, and this came out when we were engaging them, where that there's a time when they are given an opportunity to either object to how their property has been valued and have a say in it. It's only now that they know, and they have pledged that they'll definitely get involved they'll get involved in the process with the review that we want to do on the valuation role. And your observation, Honorable, is very correct to say that with these kinds of commitments of, is it 10,000 kwacha and the other one 2,000 kwacha, we realize that this is going to take a long time for these people to liquidate this debt. And for Malcolm Moffat, I think we have written back to them again, where we are claiming that maybe they need to increase the amount a bit more. The other method that we can go is engage the bailiffs, and we have a plan, and we want to go that route where we have failed completely to collect these. But this will only be, we will only move that route once we get feedback of how they intend to increase the amount from 10,000 kwacha for Malcolm Moffat and more, because we know that amount will take years, especially that they want to do this at a quarterly rate.
Secretary, the question from the Honorable, I believe you invited these people, Malcolm Moffat. You invited them to your office to talk about the date, right? During your discussions, didn't you attach a figure that you felt would be reasonable, other than what they proposed? Didn't you do that?
Unfortunately, before she answers, just to add on to what the chair said, every year these property rates are accruing, yes, and you're giving invoices. And at the rate they have proposed, you engage them, you call them, to say this is what we are demanding. And you have to put a time frame for them to set to the current, what is sitting in 2021. And as they say to also the current bills for 2022 and 2023. I should think so. If this is allowed, do you think it will be liquidated? Because I don't think them liquidating it, because they keep on accruing, and they are only going to pay 10,000 per quarter. With those options you have just said, why don't you take action to bring bailiffs to collect these monies at once? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Council Secretary, maybe you have somebody to help you.
Yes, I'm able to help.
Treasurer.
Thank you, Chair. Under Appendix 1, there's also a statement attached. On this statement, in 2020, they managed to pay 56,000, the Mokomofat. Then in 2021, they paid 25,000. So based on this, so based on this, based on this statement, we thought Mokomofat still has the capacity to be paying the rates.
I think the council, they are not helping us. Why am I saying so, Chair? We need the information that can help us, with a report. Now, when you look at what they are talking about, the very appendix and the commitment to pay rand rates, Chair, these people, the Moffat College, as of 16 January 2023, they've got about an outstanding of 312,660 to pay to the council. And they are now giving them instructions to say we'll be paying 10,000 every after 3 months starting May 2023. So now when you look at the period, Chair, I was just calculating here, it will take maybe another 4 years for them to just settle the outstanding for 2021, 2022, up to 2023. Now, the other 4 years, which they will have also outstanding, we don't know how they are going to make the payment. Now, the question is very simple. How realistic, or why did you let Mark Moffat give you instructions without reacting to what they wrote to you to say they want to commit itself to begin clearing the outstanding bills in installment of 10,000 every 3 months beginning the month of May 2023? Is this really realistic? And if this is the way, how are you going to give the services to the people of Serenge? I submit, Chair.
Yeah, Council Secretary and team, on this question, honorable members, my observation is we are not getting anywhere. Okay, before
I also saw that, Chair. I'm not trying to cut you. Council Secretary, you are not assisting, or you are not demonstrating that you are there you are existing to provide services to the council, to the community, and also to fulfill your mandates. Chair, you have said we are not getting anywhere. How would you fail, you collect zero from property rates and you attribute that to a challenge of transport? Zero. Where you can walk, I've been to Serenge. You walk, those property owners, they're there. And you're walking distance, you don't need a vehicle. Then you collect zero. Council Secretary, would you confirm to say that you have employed laxity because the government is funding you from local government equalization fund and you have relegated your duty to collect taxes and provide services? Because this is not good. If you look at the performance, and you're not giving answers. Chair, I wanted to agree with you. The purpose of even questioning them when they are not answering questions, it worries me.
No, we'll move to other questions. We are not satisfied with this. The budget and income, we have not gotten what we are looking for. So we'll move to other questions, honorable members. We have spent more than an hour just on that. Yes, Honorable Nyambose.
Page 13, Chair.
13, let's go to page 13.
Page 12, starting from page 12.
Okay.
Employees without requisite qualification, contrary to the individual job descriptions for local authorities which provide for minimum qualification for the officers occupying various positions, it was observed that 9 members of staff did not meet requisite educational and professional qualifications for the position they were holding. The cause management has seen the cause of the query. Council management wishes to report that the mandate to recruit and deploy qualified council staff lies with the Local Government Service Commission, meaning that, Council Secretary, that you had no hand in recruiting these. Do you confirm that the Local Government Service Commission then recruited the people without qualifications? Question number 1. Number 2, I will take you to the appendix 11. Appendix 11, Chair. Noted. Are we there? Yes. Appendix 11, Chair. Officers without minimum qualifications, Chair. It starts with inspector. My interest will come, Chair. It's Appendix 11. They have referred us to Appendix 11. Are we there? After the green one, no?
After the green.
After the green one is Appendix 9. Just after, below Appendix 9 there, just go somewhere where it is it's in white like this, Chair. After the Appendix the 9.
After this one.
After the green one, those white pages, you take note, there is one which says Appendix 11. Are we there, CS? We are there? This white one. After the one, the green one is written Appendix 9. I'll read, Chair. There are various positions that were. The first question is that, do you confirm that the Local Government Service Commission then were recruiting officers without requisite qualification by this report? Since you have attributed to say you have no role. Now coming to the positions, Chair. Internal auditor. Instead of a degree, one who is occupying that position has a certificate in accounting technician diploma. Is this not equivalent to the position of internal audit? And you have said her job description was the wrong one. You have attached a correct job description, but what you have attached there is the same job description of an internal auditor. Council Secretary, take note. Then the most interesting one, Chair, is number 8 on the same appendix. Position of community development officer. The occupant is supposed to possess degree in social work or sociology and its equivalent. The holding officer has a Grade 12 certificate, diploma, and certificate in Teaching Council of Zambia. Officer is pursuing Bachelor's of Arts in Social Work and what? That's what that person is doing. So a teacher was employed to take up community development position. Do you confirm the same? Thank you, Chair.
Council Secretary, attempt to answer those.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, Chair. From the report that has been submitted, this is what was obtaining them then. And we can confirm that this is what happened in terms of these officers occupying these positions and the qualifications that they held.
Okay.
Then it's the same for officers with minimum qualifications, and it's also the same with the community development officer and also the internal auditor.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to find out from the CS, at what time did they engage the local government commission upon seeing that these officers, they don't have qualifications, and do they have the evidence to show this committee that really they involved the local government commission in that issue? I submit, Chair.
Secretary, did you write to Government Service Commission?
Chair, I don't think we can say that we engaged the Local Government Service Commission. I think this was brought to light when the auditors came through.
Chair, I'm sure even the internal auditor was there. Maybe if we can have some more information from the
internal auditor. Any comment on that? You saw that? You saw that you had those officers without qualifications. What was your comment?
Okay. Thank you, Chair. On the position of internal auditor, the time this officer was appointed, the requirements then were that the qualifications, minimum qualifications were diploma in accounts or equivalent. I'm not too sure what happened. Maybe there were changes, but then the requirements were that should have a diploma or equivalent. But on these other officers, we didn't notice until the auditors, the external auditors came.
So when the external auditors, after they discovered that and queried, what was your comment to management? Did you say anything to management as an internal auditor?
Okay. When the external auditors, thank you, Chair. When the external auditors brought up this issue, we, as acting internal auditor, I only submitted what I've already told you, especially about.
Thank you so much, Auditor.
Yes.
You have not done anything. I think we yes.
Chair, if we are to arrest these issues and the experience that these great ones have, is to do our work when in the office. There is one council chair you even commended, I don't want to mention, that the moment the town clerk arrived at that council, he wrote a list of the officers, even after the external auditors raised those issues. He wrote the list to the commission and attached, this is what I've done, highlighting all these things. Town clerk, council secretary, what actions have you done after seeing 8 months you are in the office that you found these issues? They're not, you are not there. What actions, as asked by Honorable Simumba, that you have shown that this is what we want to address to the Local Government Service Commission? Then the last question is, what is the
internal auditor? Switch off your mic.
The last question is, internal auditors, what do you do if you cannot highlight some of these? You cannot check the systems that are at the council until when external auditors come. What is your role? I wonder what you do, because these things could have been highlighted, given to management for them to write that this management system in the council has flaws here and there and there before the external auditors come. Are you performing your duties as internal auditors to help the system? Thank you.
Council Secretary.
Yes, Chair, thank you. Maybe I can speak on behalf of the internal auditor.
Please, you can go ahead. Go ahead. I'm saying go ahead.
Yes, he's, as you heard from the introduction, he's assistant internal auditor. The internal auditor is not with us. But the issue is that I think if you notice from this submission, I don't know, but the internal auditor is one of the people that is affected. So I'm not very sure whether these issues could have been brought up. And then on the issue of what have we done, I think just before I was transferred, the Local Government Service Commission requested all council, I think they requested the local authorities, and even after they have requested the local authorities to submit all, they've requested us to submit matters relating to officers in different categories. Like if you are overstaffed, you give a report. And so we have submitted different, and our understanding and our belief is that they are seriously working on these issues. And we have seen some of the issues that they've already attended to were issues. There was a backlog of staff matters. They've attended to issues of, for example, confirming, and I would like to believe that all the other matters that we have submitted to them, they are going to revert to us. But in terms of what the Honorable requested, that did we sit down to just look at all the issues, that I have not done individually because there was something already in the pipeline.
Madam Chair, Council Secretary, what we are looking for here, why you are appearing before us as witness provides evidence, and here we need documented evidence that this is what we have done. We have written, like he was alluding to other councils, we have written to the Local Government Service Commission about this issue, not another issue, about this issue. This is what we have done, this is what we have done. But what I have seen is there is no coordination, and you people do not even sit together and try to look at these issues. We have even the internal auditor who is a subject of this report. So how does he manage to audit or scrutinize the reports or the shortcomings at that local authority? Honorable members, I think we need to just come up with a report. Otherwise, we'll be going in circles. Yes, and then I'll ask.
Chair, the last one is on page 22 for me. On the, this is on page 22, but coming from failure to settle staff obligations. I earlier asked that as Serenge Council, are you able to sustain your operations looking at your budget performance in terms of local taxes? The answer, you said no, you cannot sustain your operations. And I've seen the schedule on page 22, Chair. The schedule of outstanding, they have salaries. Salaries balance as at 31st December 2021 was 289,165. Do you have salary arrears as Serenge Council? I've seen terminal benefits, meaning you owe the council, the people who rendered their services to the council 3,626,113. You also have outstanding long service bonus of 1,662,000. You have also outstanding, as at 31st December 2021, it was 333,000, and I've seen some movement there, specifically on settling in allowance, and the less on salary arrears. Does it mean that your focus on settling in allowance is based on the interest that you have for you officers who are currently serving, and you have no interest on those who have rendered their services and they have now become destitute, meaning that they cannot have their terminal benefits? both in long service bonus and the terminal benefits. Do you think this council is able to sustain its operations and deal with these matters? Chair, I submit.
Thank you very much. Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, our position is quite difficult. Yes, we are getting government support on a monthly basis through the Low Government Equalization Fund. But then also our wage bill is quite huge. For a council like Serenge, our wage bill is somewhere around 1.2 per month. And what we are getting from government in terms of equalization is around 763. And when we remove the 20%, we are remaining with 600. So meaning that 600,000 plus 674 somewhere there, we have to raise this money. So when you look at Serenge, this is just topping up on salaries, but there are also other operation costs and to run the council generally. And so, yes, this is very difficult. And when you look at the salary area...
Thank you very much, Council Secretary. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I think it's difficult, like you are putting it. Permanent witnesses, your comments on your council?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to request the council, Serenge Council, to prepare adequately. We should be coming. This year we've planned to come and look at your documents and your submissions.
Okay.
Please take the wise counsel that the committee has provided. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I'm sure the council have heard what the committee has advised. As the auditors come, please make available the documents so that they can be verified, and also put more effort in sensitizing residents and collect as much revenue, because that's the money you have to use for sustaining projects like collecting bins and whatever. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
CS, I'm well aware. I'm too sure that you are aware of the fact that the responsibility to ensure that internal controls are functioning properly rests with your office as a principal officer. You have the internal audit function who is there to help you assess and evaluate these internal controls. We want, as an office, to employ you to ensure that you coordinate with internal audit. We are currently working on capacity building, and we have been doing that. You are aware of that. We'll continue. We've noticed a gap. We encourage you to timely respond to their audit findings and also implement their recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Serenge Town Council. I'm sure members of the committee have realized that this is one council that looks very stressed, including the officers themselves. We can only appeal to you to work as a team. Council Secretary, you need to sit down with your team. You need to look at this report. This report is not a good report. It has very few pages, but even out of those few pages, you as officers, you can't speak to your document. You can't adequately respond to the queries that were raised by the auditors. We needed clarifications from you on several queries that were raised by the external auditors, but we are not getting them. So we want to urge you, we'll generate a report on our own. We'll write from the pieces that you have given us, and we'll get advice also from the permanent witnesses. But we urge you We have realized even if we sent you back to go and put up this report, it will take ages for you to come up with satisfactory answers, because you have given basically one answer for maybe 3-4 questions. No lack of transport and things like that. Anyway, when you want to start asking you about transport again, you seem to get stuck at some point. So we will not get what we are looking for. We urge you to go and put your house in order. The external auditors, like they have indicated, they are coming there, and we do not expect you to perform this way. Like I said, I sat in the previous committee, and Syringe appeared. And I think it was better off. We had problems of, at that time, the cadres, refusing or telling marketeers not to pay. And at the end of the day, there was a riot, and vehicles were burnt, council vehicles. And that's the query. That is coming again. You are bringing it, and then you are sparing again to explain on it. So, based on that, I think we will allow you to go and put your house in order. At this juncture, I will withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you and allow you to travel back to Serenge. Thank you very much.
cherish so close to my heart. This land founded on freedom, grounded in justice, love for all mankind. It's a land where every person is born free, and it's a land of peace, of love and unity. This land, Zambia, land of the strong, home of the brave, our land, Zambia, free men we stand. In side. Put a trust in